Thank you. Tonight, leisure. Leisure is mowing the lawn and having no time to sit on it. Leisure is getting away from it all in a traffic jam. Leisure is a common pastime, and a bus shelter pastime, and a haystack pastime. Leisure spelt backwards is erusiel. Think about it, it'll pass the time. To the comedian, it's a time to play golf. To the professional golfer, it's a time to stand at the bar telling funny stories. Leisure is Julian Amory. It's Edward Heath playing the organ and Sandy McPherson wishing he was leader of the opposition. Along with the rest of the opposition. Leisure is Brian Ricks with his trousers on. Percy Thrower growing weeds. Robin Day listening. Ducks drawing Peter Scott for the front of a Christmas card. And Percy Edwards we don't know about. He always migrates. Of course, there are one or two leisure pursuits that are more popular now than they've ever been.
All the threes, 33. All on its own, number 1. Two fat ladies, 88. Dead or alive, 35. And a bowl of fried rice, please.
Whenever people talk about the leisure problem, they're always talking about other people's leisure problem. It's never, I have a leisure problem, it's always, they have a leisure problem. And in fact, of course, there isn't one. Everyone's time is pretty satisfactorily filled already with things like cleaning the car in Upper Norwood, home decorating, and general do-it-yourself. Indeed, a book came out in America last week called How to Write Your Own Do-It-Yourself Book. We really know how to use up our time. We take brickwork, we plaster it, we add wallpaper with a brick pattern. The handyman is always about the home.
Is it ready, love? Can I come in yet?
Oh, nearly ready, love, yes. Won't be a minute now. Right, you can come in now, love.
Oh, Bert, it's lovely. You are clever.
There you are, dear. Your own hairdryer.
It is extraordinary how people spend their leisure time. This was the East Kent Times classic report. Quote, "The evening of clairvoyance on Tuesday the 4th of December at 7 p.m. has been cancelled owing to unforeseen circumstances." Even TV celebrities in commercials and so on seem hard put to it to get 2 minutes to themselves. Bernard Miles never gets a second gulp at his Mackesons. We know in our heart of hearts that he'll be out in those gumboots mucking out the cowshed the moment he's out of shot. Ted Dexter and Pete Murray seem to spend most of their leisure hours inviting a whole dinner party of guests to their favourite London hotel in order to sip a French aperitif they can't pronounce. Life is not all Noy Prar and Skittles. I'm not sure that I can pronounce it. Then, of course, there are those idyllic scenes of people at leisure we get in all those film advertisements for drink or for cigarettes.
Menthol cigarettes. Cool, clear, fresh as a mountain stream.
There's no limit to the things that people can do with their leisure. Gardening comes high on any list. A woman who works for the BBC in Scotland planted some old man's beard. Fife Robertson was furious. I had a thing through the post yesterday which said, yes, you can learn to dance with Victor Sylvester. Of course, over 6 million people every week go to the cinema in Britain too, though not always with the same results as the A certificate film at which a small voice was heard during a very passionate embrace saying, "Mummy, is he spreading the pollen now?" Of course, there's one means of leisure that, because it's based on the love of animals, is particularly British.
Mama's taking us to the zoo tomorrow, zoo tomorrow, zoo tomorrow. Mama's taking us to the zoo tomorrow. We can stay all day and we're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. How about you? You can come too. We're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. See the elephant with the long trunk swinging, the great big ears and the long trunk swinging, sniffing up the peanuts and the long trunk swinging. We can stay all day and we're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. How about you? You can come too. We're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. Big black bear, he's a womp womp wompin'. Coat's too heavy, he's a womp womp wompin'. Don't get too near the womp womp wompin', or you won't stay all day. We're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. How about you? You can come too. We're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. Seals in the pool, they're unkin', catching all the fish and unkin'. Little seals are unkin'. We can stay all day and we're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. How about you? You can come too. We're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. Well, we stayed all day. We're getting sleepy, sitting in the car, getting sleepy. Home already, we're sleepy. We have stayed all day. We've been to the zoo. So have you. You came too. We've been to the zoo. Daddy's taking us to the zoo tomorrow, zoo tomorrow, zoo tomorrow. Daddy's taking us to the zoo tomorrow. We can stay all day and we're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. How about you? You can come too. We're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo.
Miss Julie Felix, who's doing a split week here and at Westminster Abbey. England, though, home of the zoos. It's not only the people who go to them. I mean, what about the poor people who work there and have to look after them? We've been investigating them too and come to our findings, and it's rare to be able to add in a program like this, here is a track from our latest recording, but extraordinarily it is. What about the zookeeper?
Time.
Headkeeper to see you, sir.
Send him in, please.
Yes, sir. This way.
Now, when you joined us as head keeper just 3 weeks ago, Butterling, this was the second largest zoo in the whole of Europe. We had over 6,000 animals. All we have left are 2 hyenas, a rhinoceros, and a ferret with a wooden leg. Where are the others?
I don't know, sir.
They're in the main street, Butterling. The main street. All except for the water buffalo.
Where's the water buffalo, sir?
In my bathroom. My wife found it there early this morning, Butterling. She's a nervous woman. The police caught her just 40 minutes ago. She was over 100 miles away, still running. She doesn't remember anything, and she thinks she's a potato.
I'm sorry, sir.
That's all right. I didn't like her anyway. The town, Butterling, the town. I mean, it looks like a national game reserve. I mean, Butterling, how does anyone lose giraffes?
People take them, sir. Well, they don't mean to steal them. They just borrow them and forget to bring them back.
You're lying, Butterling.
No, honestly.
You're lying.
Really?
I know all about your little arrangement with the sausage factory. And how about the aviary, Butterling? My little pride and joy, the aviary. What have you done to it?
I put all the birds in one cage, sir.
Well?
The vulture's looking very well, sir.
I'm dismissing you as from tomorrow, Butterling. One of the baboons can take over for the time being. Now, for the rest of the day, one, get the ferret out of the elephant's cage. Doesn't fool anyone. Butterling, can you impersonate animals?
Yes, sir.
Well?
Cluck, cluck.
What was that, Butterling?
A chicken, sir. Woof, woof.
No, don't tell me, Butterling. Let me guess that, well? That was a dog.
Thank you very much, sir. Moo!
Butterling, this is a zoo, not a farm. Get out! It's 5-1. Go and feed the animals. The animal. Oh, and Butterling.
Yes, sir?
If there's a potato waiting outside, tell her I love her.
And though that is from the record album, I would like to assure you they weren't miming. Of course, there's no doubt that television is one of the most powerful leisure pursuits of today. The main problem with television is getting people to buy a license. Clearly, they'll have to treat people like they do motorists, with court reports that announced Mr. Bull was fined £10 and disqualified from viewing for 12 months for set watching while not in possession of a current television license. He asked for a further 97 episodes of Coronation Street to be taken into consideration. In fact, of course, you can always tell what programs people like to watch by their answer to the question, what programs do you like to watch? If all you get in reply to your question is a series of screams, groans, and incomprehensible grunts, for instance, you're speaking to a Wednesday play enthusiast. Television's so popular now that there's an account recently of a family who watch TV so often that when they go out at nights, they switch the lights off so that burglars will think they're at home. But the main problem just about makes sense. Though, of course, you can try to get away from it all by going to one of Britain's top holiday camps, for instance, always assuming that you've been attracted by one of those films that they're always showing on television.
No, this is not Broadway. It's just one of the first-class shows at Bunting's Holiday Camp. A real holiday home from home. Imagine spending 2 weeks in a chalet like this. Why not spend your honeymoon at Bunting's? This luxurious bridal suite chalet is just built for two. Bunting's for a honeymoon you'll always remember. Mikey, Mikey! Greet the day the Bunting way. Soak up that sunshine, safe bathing on your private beach, your own boating lake, and if you get into difficulties, there's always a Bunting's white coat with a helping hand. Gymnasium to keep you fit, or relax with a quiet drink. Be a sport and join in the fun. Can't you just smell that Bunting's home cooking? Then there's the famous Bunting's beauty contest. With famous stars to judge the lovely winner. Yes, whatever your favorite pastime, you'll find it at Bunting's. And in the event of a sudden emergency, Bunting's is prepared. There's expert medical attention ready to hand from the Bunting's Chalet Patrol. Yes, Bunting's for a warm welcome and a holiday you'll never forget.
Meanwhile, of course, people go on trying to create a national Gordonstown. There's no doubt that sport is popular. There are more injured shins today than ever, though that's not hockey so much as bridge. Or as someone said in the Manchester Evening News, I don't think it is at all polite the way at cricket these fast bowlers rub the ball all over themselves. Sport affects other things too. The spirit of the tennis rally is not found only on a tennis court. By no means.
I didn't see you at the Davenport's party last night.
No, I wasn't invited.
15 love.
As a matter of fact, I don't like them very much.
No, I know them terribly well, you see.
Oh, yes, I know them terribly well, but I just don't like them very much.
15 all.
So, what have you been doing with yourself recently?
Well, I've been seeing quite a bit of Margaret, as a matter of fact. Quite a bit.
Margaret, eh? Yes, I used to do quite a bit of that, yes. I used to be pretty randy.
Folks!
I mean, I used to see quite a bit of Margaret in my philandering days.
15:30.
As a matter of fact, I always found her rather frigid.
Oh, no.
30 all.
Well, when I say frigid, I mean the same way that I find your sister frigid.
30:40.
Have you seen Margaret at all recently?
Well,
Very nice flat she's got.
oh, very nice flat.
Very nice sofa.
Deuce.
Talking of that sofa, you didn't happen to find a pair of shoes of mine, did you?
First service.
They wouldn't be a pair of light mauve chukkables, would they?
Yes, those are they, yes.
Yes, I think Margaret said something about throwing them in the garbage.
Advantage Corbett.
So you've seen Margaret recently?
Yes, last week. Well, yesterday, actually, for tea. Very good tea.
Very good tea.
Damn good seedy cake.
Damn good seedy cake.
Damn good scones.
Damn good scones.
You get a damn good tea.
Damn good tea. Bloody awful breakfast.
Game, set, and match to Corbett. There's no doubt that the boy-girl scene is a vital part of leisure. To quote every woman, any girl not actually repulsive and who has a strong constitution can have a good time in the East. Or the remark of one film star, I just married him till the right man came along. No names. Of course, all that advice about party games and leisure that we get doesn't help the people who enjoy doing absolutely nothing with their time. We ought to have hints for them too. Next time you have an hour to kill, try seeing if you can reach the tip of your nose with your tongue. Pretending to be cross-eyed can be an absorbing hobby, and so can sitting slumped in an easy chair saying poof from time to time. If you have a hollow tooth, now is the time to try sucking it. Or for a real treat, why not try sucking a chocolate liqueur without it breaking in your mouth? Counting the sides on a threepenny bit can give you many happy hours, and so can rolling up any magazine and examining the family through it as if it were a telescope. In general, though, the British are pretty good at devising things to do with their leisure, and then pretty good at explaining them to the rest of the British public.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Nature. Our first guest this evening is Mr. Henry Cutler, the Secretary of the British Stone Watchers Association. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Cutler. Now, you have been a stone watcher for a number of years now. What first started you on the hobby?
Well, I used to be a bird watcher, but they're nasty things, birds, and so I switched to stones. They're much more satisfactory to watch. They don't peck. They don't fly away when you get close to them, and there are no feathers to get up your nose.
I see.
Mind you, all my family have been connected with stones in some form or another. My father, he was a celebrated mountain stone watcher. He finally was killed by a herd of the wild ones, you know. And then there was my brother. My brother had a circus act, William Cutler and his performing stones, a large troop of stones which he would lay out in attractive patterns on the floor. Very nice act, very restful to watch, but didn't quite catch on with the public.
Now, to return to stone watching, how does one go about it?
Well, you find a nice round stone.
Do you ever watch pointed ones?
But the sharp stones? Oh, no, they're pests. No, you can hurt your feet on those. No, they are vermin. You must throw those away.
No, I find a nice round stone that I want to watch, and then I watch it.
Oh, yes. Surely it must be rather slow.
Very slow, yes, tremendously slow. Yes, but the rewards are enormous. And I once knew a man who taught a stone to talk.
He taught a stone to talk?
No, he didn't. That was a joke.
I understand you've got some film you would like us to see.
Yes, I've got some film I would like you to see, and it's just coming up now.
Oh, goodness me, yes.
Yeah. Now, that's a stone. Now, there are two stones, you see. Now, that one's slightly larger than the other. The one I'm pointing at is the smaller of the two there. Now, that's a rather hungry stone we saw in Wapping. Oh, now, I don't know what quite those two stones are doing there. Now, that is quite a large collection of stones. You see, they keep very much to themselves, and they've gone.
Oh, yes. I must admit, fascinating. I never dreamt that it would be quite so interesting.
No, nor did I. Neither did all. Neither did I didn't either. Yeah. I've taken the liberty of bringing one along to show you.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, do keep it the right way up, because they can't turn over on their own, you see. Yeah.
So do they make good pets?
Oh, wonderful pets. Wonderful pets. Yes, they're very hardy little fellows, and they're very, very clean about the house, and they need practically no exercise at all. You can leave them out in the garden all night if you want to, and then when you get tired of them, you simply throw them away like that, you see. Yes, I find them only a little less interesting than tortoises myself.
In general, though, the real question with people working so hard at their leisure is how can they cope with the strain of their work on top of that? Luckily, however, work, on the other hand, is getting fuller and fuller of leisure, what with tea breaks and coffee breaks and business lunches and so on, so that eventually there will come a day when every moment of leisure can be spent working and every moment of work can be spent at leisure. And of course, the car will become more and more important, for as we all know, the modern car will get you anywhere. No matter where you go, it'll get you. That's because, I suppose, of the way people behave in cars. They'd never dare to behave like that as pedestrians. Of course, the coming of computers will make leisure much more available, much more quickly. The danger, I suppose, is that if computers are that good, won't they want to lead lives of their own, with newspaper reports in the future that'll read, in the divorce court today, Ernie, the well-known computer, was granted a decree nisi from the new computer he was recently linked up with. It was said that misconduct had taken place in an office in High Holborn 23,974,000 times per second. Pleas of cruelty. We shall have to make sure that everyone realizes that it is antisocial to work all day, with a whole new set of slogans like "Get your shoulder off that wheel," "Your country doesn't need you," and "Go to sleep on an egg." The man whose get away from it all dream had been 10 tea-soaked days on the Costa Brava will start saying to his friends, "I thought I'd just take the wife and kids down to ICI for a few days." We've been to Ford's for the past 3 years. We're getting fed up with it. People will put in alarm calls to get them to go back to bed again. But there's really no need to worry. Because basically, you see, all this leisure we've been talking about, it's a problem of prosperity. And the way that we're going at the moment, it'll never be ours. Good night.